a lot of BS, and you have to differentiate. I don't think I know my stuff is pretty good on the internet, but my newsletter and on my website. But I continue to try to make it better. I continue to try to make it better. Another question that was earlier on: what do I think about the Mexican economy? Well, most of the third world countries are great, except for corruption, bribery. There are a lot of deals there, but it's all about your partner, your joint venture partner in Asia, both in the Philippines and in China. It's who you're going to bed with, not physically, but I mean metaphorically in business. And if your partner's got a good reputation, that's how you make a track record. Remember, how do you create an instant track record? You create it by being in business with somebody that's got a track record. Hello, Bruce. Nice to see you. Bruce Whipple and I have been doing deals for about 16, 17 years. And I met Bruce at a Jay Abraham seminar, along with Burl Crump and a few others. If I was a high-performance person and I was going to be in the United States, I'd be in New York City, because that's where it's happening. And as opposed to California, where you get tan and you boogie board and the sun bakes your brains. I'm being slightly sarcastic because my kids were raised a good portion of their life in California. But it's New York's where it's happening. But not everybody can start at the New York level. And as I've explained to my own children, get a job in Des Moines, get a job in San Diego, then go to Chicago, then go to New York. But it's a building block. It's the most important thing, and I was reading some of my old emails to prepare for this, and one of the things was from Burl Crump. God love her. She still lives in Canada, but she's doing deals in Africa and all over the place. She said the biggest thing that she learned from when she met me in 1993, and she's been to all the seminars a number of times, is to keep swinging at the bat, especially as a woman. And for the ladies that are listening to me right now, you can't, especially now in 2010, there's not that as much intimidation for women in business as there used to be. But you got to still keep swinging at the plate. And if you're unsuccessful the first 4 or 5 or 6 or even 10 times, this goes for the guys too. You got to keep on swinging at the plate, because you can't even get on base without being at the plate and swinging at it. What's the most vibrant place on earth for me? Well, Monte Carlo's not bad. I like Monte Carlo, and I've had a home here the last few years. But I think Shanghai. Shanghai is New York on steroids. Shanghai's pretty terrific, and that's why my son's there learning Chinese. But I also like South America. There's a lot of opportunities in South America. I mean, Buenos Aires and Rio and Santiago, Chile, all have great opportunities. And especially the Brazilian economy is going to be one of the biggest. It already is one of the biggest economies in the world, and it's going to be even bigger in the next 5 to 15 years. What do you think of the predicted inflation in the Eurozone? I think that it's going to happen. I don't predict a Great Depression. I do think that the odds are we're going to have a double-dip recession. But when you go around, I mean, spending is cut back, business inventories are low, people are spending less and less money on capital goods, capital expenditures, and this is one of the things that you measure it by. I think that it's going to take 5 or 10 or 15 years for Europe and the Eurozone and the Euro, the currency, to straighten itself out. I mean, it's going to be another generation that's going to have to grow up, because it's pretty devastating. But as long as we keep just printing money, I mean, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. There's been a lot of disappointment. This isn't a political station for me to beat my chest on, but I mean, the Obama administration hasn't done what a lot of people thought it would do when he got elected. He got elected for change, and we haven't really seen that much change. So I hope that he straightens his administration out and he does some good things, whether he's a one-term president or a two-term president. It's really up to him. Do I still do private coaching? The answer is yes, I still do private coaching. I don't do much of it. For people to go to the seminar, I make that a requisite before I coach with people. And I know that sounds self-serving because then I get somebody in a seminar seat, but my experience is without them really being with me for a week, they don't really know what I expect. And of course, that's why I made payments for the seminar, to make it easier. And we get a different, not a different crop, but we get people that are willing to make some sacrifice to make the payments. But I still do private coaching. I still enjoy it. There's nothing like getting somebody across the goal line, dragging them down the field sometimes, kicking them, pushing them, clubbing them, and then getting them into the goal, into the net. It's a terrific feeling, and I still enjoy it a great deal. Somebody asked me here today about my credo: act as if you have no limits to your abilities. And by that it means, you have to dress the part, you have to look the part, you have to act the part. And the longer you do that, pretty soon you're not acting, pretty soon you're really showing who you really are. And it's not easy. And the thing that I want to say, I'm still going to be on here for a few minutes, but I want to try to get across, it's not easy. We make it easier. We don't make it easy. And with this economy and this market, it's certainly not easy. It's not easy for me. I get people's ears easier than you do, only because I've got a track record, a very long track record. And people are willing to take a risk with me more so than with other people. One of the markets, and I haven't really looked at it, although I like Asia, is the Japanese markets. But the Japanese market has been in the doldrums for 15, 18 years because they're cleaning up what we are going to have to clean up in Europe, vis-a-vis what's happening in Greece and may happen in Spain and will happen in the United States unless we do something. That's a good model to look at what we don't want to be like, because it's taken 15, 18 years for the Japanese market to come out of the doldrums, and that could be us. That could be us, and with no real growth, etc. Let's see. Well, those new mouse and feet. I don't see the unemployment dropping too much. We may get down to 8%, which is a big drop, but we still aren't adding enough jobs. And the way they calculate the job losses, which I think is disingenuous at best, dishonest at worst, is they don't calculate all the numbers. And the numbers that you see, the jobs added, like for example, the people that are taking the census now, those aren't permanent jobs. So they added 5 or 6 or 700,000 people to take the census. That's a 6-month job. And there's other tricks that the government plays. So, but right now I'm told, and I read and I believe, for every one job that's being looked at, there's 5 applicants. There's 5 applicants. And so that just means it's a numbers game. You've got to put out more resumes, and you've got to follow up on those resumes. I think that China. Okay, my screen went blank. Obviously, I didn't do something right, but it's back now. I think that I just saw Avatar on the plane coming over last night. Almost 3 hour, and it was an interesting movie. But it's about the haves and the have-nots, 150 years hence, in the future. And but it was interesting that they were attacking this planet over some kind of mineral that sold for $20 million a kilo, which isn't probably too far from the truth. I'm asked, can you talk a little bit about the failures you need to go through to get across the goal line? I haven't really seen it since I've been coaching anybody that hit a grand slam home run first time up the bat, and it takes a few times being struck out, a few walks, a few singles, doubles, triples, etc. before you get across the goal line. And it's very easy to get yourself depressed, if that's the right word, to be down on yourself when you're not successful. But that's what the dream team's for, and that's what your chairman's for, and that's what your other board members are for, to tell you that it's not the end of the world. I deal this with my own kids. when they're not successful, something